Next planned robotic missions. The end of July 2020 will see even 3 robotic exploration missions. Will be multiple launches never seen before in the history of space exploration. July 20th, 2020, the United Arab Emirates Mars mission is a planned space exploration mission which aims at entering in Mars orbit. The probe is called Hope. July 23, 2020, Tianwen-1 is a planned mission by China. The space probe features an orbiter and a lander with a rover. Mission aims are to find out sign of both current and past life, and to investigate the Mars environment. July 30th, 2020, the NASA Mars 2020 mission belongs to Mars Exploration Program. It comprises the Perseverance rover to investigate Mars' surface geological processes and history, including the appraisal of its past habitability, ancient life forms, and the potential for the preservation of biosignatures within accessible geological materials. The next frontier, human-rated missions. So far, the remotely unmanned exploration missions provided a huge increase in knowledge about the Martian system, especially for what concerns the understanding of its geology and habitability potential. But the red planet still represents the next frontier of space exploration. The new goal, in fact, is to send astronauts to Mars with acceptable cost, risk, and performance. Proposals for human-rated missions have been made throughout the space exploration history and have also been an inspiration since the earliest days of space science. For instance, for Robert H. Goddard, the idea of reaching the red planet was fundamental to overcome all the difficulties he met in his research studies on the space flight. Human exploration was identified as a long-term goal in the U.S. space exploration vision. Conceptual works and plans of NASA focus on missions typically being stated as taking place after about 10 to 30 years from the time they are drafted. On September 28, 2007, NASA's then Administrator Michael D. Griffin stated that the U.S. aims to send men on Mars by 2037. The Orion Crew Exploration Vehicle, CV, would be used to send a human mission to the Moon by 2024 within the Artemis program as a stepping stone to a Mars expedition. A flight to Mars could follow this program. Currently, active plans foresee the landing on Mars of a crew made of 2 up to 8 astronauts that would visit the red planet for a period of a few weeks or a year. The aim is exploration at a minimum, with the possibility of sending settlers and terraforming the planet for the permanent colonization of Mars or exploring its moons Phobos and Deimos as well. On October 8, 2015, NASA unveiled its official plan for human missions to Mars, called Journey to Mars, leading up to fully sustained colonization. The plan develops through 3 phases, namely Earth-reliant phase, proving ground phase, and Earth-independent phase. During the first phase, Earth-reliant, the International Space Station will be used to validate deep space technologies and study the effects of long-duration space missions on the human physiology. The second phase, proving ground, will focus on the research/scientific activities away from Earth and to be accomplished into cislunar space. Activities in this phase are to test deep space habitation facilities, and validate capabilities needed for human exploration of Mars. Finally, the third phase, Earth independent, features the transition to independence from Earth resources. This last stage comprises long-term missions on the lunar surface, which leverage surface habitats that only require routine maintenance, and the harvesting of Martian resources for fuel, water, and building materials. Anyway, it is expected that Earth's independence could take several decades. Crewed mission to Mars is extremely challenging both from the engineering and human point of views. A safe, reliable, and affordable mission design must include the shortest interplanetary journey, a safe transportation system with radiation shielding, centrifugal artificial gravity, in-transit consumable resupply, and an orbiter and a lander which can return. As far as human factor is concerned, it is worth noting that a not negligible mission aspect is the psychological effort. A typical mission would last at least 18 months. Therefore, for a crew staying for this long time and very far from Earth, for the first time in the history, continuously subject to a hostile environment could be extremely challenging from a psychological point of view. Several experiments are planned or yet executed by space agencies in order to make sure that astronauts are prepared mentally and physically for the demands of long exploration missions. For example, ESA undertook a cooperative project with the Russian Institute for Biomedical Problems, IBMP, in Moscow, called Mars 500. This test began in February 2010 and the end of the isolation period was November 4, 2011. Further, on August 28, 2015, NASA funds a year-long experiment, with 6 scientists, to investigate the effects of Long March mission. The crew lived in a biodome on Mauna Loa Mountain, Hawaii, with partial connection to the outside world and were only allowed outside if they were wearing spacesuits. For the time being, Mars still inspires next generations of scientists, physicists, engineers, mathematicians, and so on. It seems still far from humans' exploration, but great efforts are made, ongoing and planned for the next future. A day will arrive when a new small step will be moved forward for a giant leap for mankind.